Hello everyone, this is Neeti and I welcome you in the session Pole and Zero Analysis of an RC Circuit. So in the last two sessions we discussed about the AC analysis, we discussed the bottle plot, we ran the AC simulation and understood that there is one pole at a 3 dB frequency. Now we will do what is known as a pole and zero analysis using a .pz statement of HSpice. So let's get started. So, when we were talking about our RC circuit, the last session, we saw that the transfer function for an RC circuit was V out by V in is equal to 1 by SC, R plus 1 by SC. And if I simply solve it, then this will be coming at 1 upon 1 plus SRC. We all know that given a transfer function, if we want to find the pole of that transfer function, then what we do is we put the denominator equal to 0, and this gives me my pole frequency S is equal to minus 1 by RC, right? Now the value minus 1 by RC is the value of the pole in radians per second. So if you want to convert and see that what is the pole frequency in hertz, then what we do is we use the relationship between angular frequency and the frequency, which is omega is equal to 2 pi f, and we basically divide this this 1 by RC with 2 pi. Okay, so the pole frequency. So what is going to be my frequency in hertz? That is equal to omega p divided by 2 pi. My omega p is equal to 1 by RC. So that means my pole frequency is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC. Now, for the circuit which we have in our hand, Fp is equal to 1 by 2 multiply pi is 3.14. Our R is 2 kilo ohm and our capacitor is 1 microfarad. So if I simply find the pole frequency omega p, that will be minus 1 by RC, right? And so this basically means that we are on the left hand side. Okay, and if I put the values of R here, 2 into, so K means 10 is to the power 3 ohms, 1 into micro means 10 to the minus 6, so this will give me 1, 2 into 10 to the power minus 3, and this 10 to the power minus 3 can go up, so that will give me 1000 divided by 2, so that means my pole is at 500 radian per second, right? Yeah, so now we are going to convert this radian per second into hertz. So simply what I have to do is I will just do 1 by 2 into 3.4, right? So I'll divide this 500 radian per second with 2 pi simply. And we will arrive somewhere around 79.6 hertz, right? So you can do that calculation. Okay, this is the rough estimate I'm giving. So you can use the calculator and solve it. So this is how, and this will be in hertz, right? So now let's move further. So now when we were doing the AC analysis, and we usually say that when a pole comes, then our gain decreases by a factor of 20 decibel per decade. So let's try to understand from the transfer function point of view that how does that happen. So if I see the transfer function here, 1 by SC divided by R plus 1 by SC gives me 1 upon my 1 plus SRC, right? And if I take the Laplace inverse of this transfer function, right, of this transfer function, I came at ht is equal to 1 by RC, e minus t by RC ut. So we see that basically pole this at this frequency we are getting an exponentially decaying function, right? And my pole is lying at the left hand side because s is equal to minus 1 by RC, right? So that means this is a stable region, first thing that we will be able to understand from this inverse Laplace transform. Second thing is that finally my system will become stabilized, right? It will decrease exponentially and then it will become stable, right? So Definitely at pole frequency, my gain starts to decrease. That's what we are able to observe from here, right? Now, when we have to do this pole zero analysis in a piece in our HSpice, then how do we do it? What is the format of that? That's what I'm going to share with you now. So the syntax is that I write .pz. Now you can, so HSpice is case insensitive. You can write in caps or you can write small. So usually I write all my statements in small letters. So, but here it is written as caps. So .pz output underscore variable. So basically the syntax is output underscore variable represents the output node voltage. That what is the voltage? So this V represents the voltage, and this in bracket represents which node we are talking about. So we are talking about the output node, and this V in, it has to be an independent voltage or current source as is used by the input. Now, guys, always remember, since whatever analysis we do, whether it's a transient analysis or an AC analysis, first thing which is done by the simulator is it always first finds the DC operating point. Okay. Now we find the DC operating point so that the circuit can be linearized, and then we proceed with the analysis. Okay. So before AC analysis, first the DC operating point analysis is done by default always. Now let's see how do we write the netlist for finding the pole and zero in the circuit. We already know that there are no zeros, only pole, one pole is present. So let's do. So first we write down dot option WDF equal to 1. So this enables that the waveform and the output files will get generated. Then we have resistance R1, which we have discussed already. This is the resistance R1, which is connected between the input and the output node. The value is 2 kilo ohm. Then we have a capacitor, which is connected between out and 0, and the value is 1 microfarad. Then we are applying a voltage source between the in node and the 0. We also call this as ground node. Okay, and we have kept the magnitude as AC equal to 1. Then we want the simulator to probe or find the draw the waveform for currents and voltages, and the star is basically representing that find the current waveform for all the nodes, voltage for all the nodes. That's what it is trying to do. Then we have dot AC analysis. Again, dec means decade, 20 number of points starting from 1 hertz to 2 kilohertz. And then if you see, I have used a pole dot pz statement here, right? Here V out. So voltage at the output node, right? This is the first thing that I want to find. What is the voltage at the output node? I want to find the pole and zero analysis at the output node. When I have applied a voltage source V1. So this is an independent voltage source, and then dot N. So when you will run this netlist in your HSpice, apart from .ac0 file which gets generated because it's an AC analysis, we will be seeing shortly that one more file will get generated, that is pole underscore 0.pz0. And in that particular file, if you will open it in the VI editor, you will see two things. Minus 500, and please see the pole he is saying radians per second. That's what we discussed in the very starting first slide. Minus 500 radian per second. And if I turn this into hertz, then it will be minus 79.575. That was approximately 79.6, which I told you, right? So this is where my first pole will come, right? Now, we will be seeing the simulation shortly. So let's get done with the simulation. Now, let me show you the netlist for the pole and zero, which we have already discussed. So guys, this is my netlist in which the first line, always remember, we have to write down the comment there, right? Because it will not be taken up by the simulator. It is, so the first line is always taken as a comment. Then we have dot option WDF equal to 1. Define the R1 connected between what and what's the value. C1, V1, probe statement, dot AC statement, and then dot pulse and zero statement, right? Now I'll just run the simulation. Let's run the simulation. So to run the simulation, I will write down HSpice minus I, the name of my netlist, uh, and let's run it. So now my job has been concluded, and if I do ls here, so if you see here, because we did AC analysis, so this is the my waveform file for the AC analysis. we will open this in the waveform viewer. But since we are looking at the pole zero analysis, there is an output file which is generated by the name of pole underscore zero dot pz0, right? Let me open it for you. Pole underscore zero. So we'll be opening dot pz0 file. And if you see here, it is showing me, so it is a pole, right? So what do we have? We have poles, the units is radian per second. Then we have poles in hertz. So in radian per second, we are getting 500 minus 500. He has converted it into the hertz. He's getting minus 79.577, approximately equal to 79.6 hertz, and that's what we discussed uh, in the numerical analysis as well. So I hope you get a clarity that how do we calculate the poles. You can also do as a part of the exercise, you change the values of resistance here, right? So we know that the pole frequency is 1 by 2 pi RC. Just change the value of 1 and then see. So let's try to do that also. If I change this to 1K, so the pole frequency should ideally change, right? So let's just try that. What is the change that will come? I will rerun. Okay. And now if I check, so you see now your frequency has changed, right? So the this has earlier it was 500, now it's minus 1000 radian per second, and pole is minus 159.155, right? So yeah, this is so that means depending on the values of my resistance and capacitance, the poles and zero position changes, and that is why understanding the pole zero analysis, and also it will impact the stability of my system as well, poles and zeros. That is why we do pole and zeros analysis. In control systems also we do pole zero analysis to understand the stability. So to check my circuit stability, this is the best way we could do it. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Now let's proceed the simulation. Now let's proceed. So now I would like to establish the correlationship between the transient analysis and the AC analysis and the pole zero analysis which we did, right? So if you see here, I have captured three sinusoidal waveforms, right? So the first one is with 1 hertz, the second one with the 79 hertz, and the third one is 1 kilohertz. Okay. The schematic for the transient analysis is the first one where I am using sine signal. For AC analysis is the second one where I am using the magnitude AC equal to 1. The output shown here shows me the magnitude and the phase, right? So the magnitude at 3 dB frequency after 79 hertz, I see that my gain is falling. Yeah. And similarly at 79 hertz, my phase is was coming to be minus 45. That means there's going to be some phase lag, which we can evidently see in our second and the third waveform very clearly. We also see that at low frequency around 1 hertz, my input is there and output is following my input, and that same thing is being reflected here in the gain of magnitude of the RC circuit AC analysis. So if I check at 1 hertz, I will see 0 dB, right? Similarly, we also found out through pole and zero analysis that there was one pole which is coming at 79 hertz, 79.57 hertz, right? And we find out that particular pole using dot pz statement during our AC analysis. So guys, I hope you are able to understand that why we do AC analysis. We do AC analysis wherein we want to find out that for a given range of frequencies how my circuit is going to behave, right? We do the transient analysis in order to understand that what is the delay the circuit is going to give me, after how much time going to get my output. So now I'll see you in my next session. Thank you.